Hello and welcome to a CAD System free online course. For this session here, we're going to take a look on the review sections inside of Navisworks Manage. To go to the review section, you can go to the Navisworks tab at the top over here, and you can select at the review tab. And over here, allow you to basically use some of the review tools. You can measure, you can mark up, and you can add some comment. So the first thing is that you can measure your model using the measure section over here. So if I drop down, so I have a few type of options. So which the first is point to point. So you can review your models by measuring. So if I select the point to point, so this one is basically allow you to select from one area to the other area. So either I select one face to the other face. I can also select based on points. So to select based on point, you can go to any edge and make sure the symbol for X to appear. Then it will allow you to basically select as a point instead. So that is basically point to points. And you see here, it basically tells you different type of length that you have. You have Y, X, and also the actual length. You also have the Z direction. If I select from here to here, then you can see we also have the Z axis for this measurement. So that is basically straightforward from one point to the other points. Let's say if I would like to start with 1 point and I want to measure multiple times from the original point to the other points, original to the other point, and from the original again with the other section as well. So for that, I can use point to multiple point. So I can select here, and let's say if I want to start from the start point here, and the first thing is I would like to measure up until to the wall over here. So you can see, so the first start is the 15.328 for the closest distance between these 2 points. I can continue. Let's say if I want to have for the beam here, you can see it still start from the origin point, and I can continue. Maybe I want to see at this beam member here, and I can continue. So if you want to cancel your current selections, you can go to the measure here, and then you have the clear button. So basically, it's going to cancel the one that you have selected before. Right. So other type of measurement that we have point line. Basically, if you want to continuously measure from one area to the other area, so for that you can use point line. So maybe I would like to measure continuously around this block area here. So I can select, let's say, starting from this point, and I move up until to this point here, and continuous. I go to this point here. You can see the value will be added. So it will continuously add the total value for the length that I start from the origin. So that is the point line. So if I want to do another type of calculations, but the line is not connecting that I have over here. So instead of using point line, you can use accumulate. So basically I can, let's say, start from this point to this point. So I have 31.7. I can continue. Let's say I want to have this point to this point. What you have here is actually a continuously added value, and I can add it here, and you can see the value will be increased. It's basically add all of the value from here. So that is accumulate. And if you want to measure an angle, so we have the angle value here. Right, so this one is basically a straightforward. You can select one area to another area and continues to another area, and it will tells you the angle for that section here. Right, and if I want to measure a certain area, so I can use the area instead. So maybe I would like to have an area for this section only. So I can select from this area, say to this area, to this area, to this area. So total for this rectangle area, I have somewhere around 411, 417 meter cube. And if I want to find a coordinate, I can use single point. So just select one point and it will tell you the coordinate for X, Y, and Z for that directions. Now at the right side here, we have a lock button. So this one is basically just allow you to assist on using these measure tools. So for example, if I want to lock, I just want to see the x-axis only. So if I just use point to point from here to here, so it gives me 3 different values, but I just want to have an x. So I can just lock into this x-axis from here to here, and you see it's only telling you for the x distance only. So that is lock buttons, allow you to filter what value that you want. And over here we have measure panel. So what this does is allow you to record the value that you have. Like for example, when I using the measure from here to here, for example, I will also would like to have this value to be copied on other tools. For example, I would like to copy this value and put it on the text file, for example. So with that, you can use this measure tool here. So maybe I want to have a continuous point line. So I can select from here to here to here to here, for examples, and I have this value here. So to copy that value, you can just use the copy, and you can just basically paste the value. I want to have a different type of value, start or end value, so you can just copy here. Or if I want to have all of the 3 value from here, I can just copy all of the 3 here. So that is measure tools, allow you to copy the value that you have. And over here we have shortest distance. So this one is quite useful if you want to see what are the minimum distance between 2 objects, and you can use shortest distance. So currently I cannot select anything. So to select, you need to select the item that you want to measure. So with that, I'm going to use the select tools here. And let's say I want to measure from one beam to another beam, one beam to another beam. And I can select shortest distance, and it will tell me, so the shortest distance between these two is 7.857. Maybe I want between these two machine or bench press here. So shortest distance, and it tells me what are the shortest distance between these two. And we have here is the convert to markup. So what this does is allow you to save this as a markup, right? Something like a comment or some value that you want to save this, because if you continue using different type of measurement, so the value that you have, the information here will be missing. So with that, you can just use convert to markup, and it will save that markup inside of viewpoint. So if I move away, you can see it's gone, and I go back to the viewpoint, I can select here and it will show back my markup that I have. And I want to, I can also continuously measure. Say I want to measure from, say, this point to the end point here. Again, I can use convert to markup, and it will save that inside the view that I have over here. So that is one of the markup that I have. I also have an entire ribbon specifically for markup sections. If I want to, let's say maybe I would like to remove this beam member at the middle here. So I can add a comment or text stating that I want to remove this. Say, move this beam. So I can OK, then you will see it will create a markup that other people can see from the viewpoint from here. So that is some text. I can also add some symbols, or I can just draw. Maybe I want to highlight, I can use cloud. And maybe I want to make it much more noticeable, I can use arrow here. Okay, all right, so I have this. a markup here. So you can also erase if you want to. So just erase, and the markup that you are mistaken will be removed. If you want to, maybe change colors or maybe change the thickness, so we have these settings from here. Right, so that is markup. So maybe I want my comment to be much more smooth. For that, you can add a comment or tag. Let's say, for example, I need to have another of these branch press right over here. Okay, so I can add a tag here. Press, and I can click OK. So that will be saved on the viewpoint as well. But you cannot see the comment that you have added here. So to see that comment, you can use the comment section. And you should be able to see all of the comment that you currently have. Right, I can add multiple type of comments. Let's say I would like to replace the robotic welding here. And currently I have two tags. So sometimes you might find it quite hard to find, especially if you have too many viewpoints over here. So what you can do is that you can use this arrow here to basically select the text that you currently have. Right? And to view the comments, just make sure to turn on the view comment, and you should be able to see the comment right over here. Now, the comment is not only entitled for review or the viewpoints. There are some other areas that have and can be added comment inside. So for example, maybe you have a clash detective, a timeliner that you have added a comment, and you want to find that particular comment. So if I take a look here, the comment is only one. I need to select this tag, then I should be able to see the other comment. So to find other type of comment that you have on your drawing, so what you can do is that you can use find comment instead over here. So when you select over here and you can select find, so currently I set to search for everything. Select find and it will tells you, so I have this comment here and I have this comment here. If I want to see, I can just drop and I can see from here. So if you want to filter from different source, because sometimes you have too many comments, that source is maybe you want to see comment from the class detective only, so you can just turn off and you only see from the class detective only. But maybe you also like to see from the quantification, so you can just turn on and it will try to find that inside here. Another filter that you can add is you can add a date and time. You can go to the date modify here and you can filter which is the date times that the comment has been added. So this one basically allow you to find your comment much more easily. And once you're done, you can just find and you should be able to see the comments right down here. So that is the review sections inside of Navisworks Manage. So that is the so that concludes this lesson for this Navisworks Manage for review.